Today you're gonna make a giant die that we can roll and see numbers on, and we're gonna use this in next week's project. So it's kind of like a little tiny sculpture. We're gonna use some creative ideas, but you will need, from your folder, this piece of paper that says make a cube. If you don't have the folder still, but you have a printer, I've attached this paper to the assignment so you can print it out at home if you need another one or if you don't want to have one at all. Okay, so you're going to need this paper, scissor, glue stick, and then something to draw with, all right? First things first, you have to cut out this shape, including all the gluing flaps. I've skipped ahead here because I want to show you a little trick with cutting the flaps. All right, so you're gonna cut out most of it, but you're gonna have to leave little spaces for each of the flaps. So here's my little trick. See, like here, I have to cut in between these two. What I like to do is I take my scissor and then I cut one, cut two, and then I'm gonna bend it up like that, see? And then I cut that piece off. Makes it a lot easier to get those little gaps, okay? So I'm gonna finish cutting out here. Cutting around the flaps doesn't have to be super accurate, but you do want to make sure that the boxes are cut neatly. So the flaps you can be a little bit loose on, but make sure the boxes are nice and clean. Okay. Now obviously you might need to pause the video so you can cut this out, but when you're ready, we're going to move on. So now we should have this sort of shape with all these little glue flaps everywhere. First thing I'm going to do is have you guys flip this over and let's fold back all those flaps. There's 3 at the bottom. The paper's so thin you should be able to see the glue flap through the paper, so it should be pretty easy to find them and flip them over. Okay. Once we've done that, we're also going to fold up different squares. So can you kind of see the lines here through the paper? See? One line here, there's a line here. We're pretty much going to fold those boxes. So here's one, there's a line here. I'm going to fold that up and crease, put it back. There's a line here. I'm going to fold this piece in and put it back. And then one going this way and one going this way. Once you've made all those folds, we can flip it back over and look at it from this angle. It's going to pop up a little bit, that's okay. Now you're going to grab a pencil, but I'm going to use a marker as usual, so it's easy for you guys to see. We're going to draw the circles that represent the different numbers on a die. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So follow along with me, draw these circles where I do. So at the very top, we're going to put one circle in the middle for 1. This is going to have 2, 1, 2. Center one here is going to have 3. For this one, we're going to do 4 with a circle in each corner. And then for 5, you do a circle in each corner, but 1 in the middle. And then 6 is going to have 2 rows of 3 dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. Now we have the layout of our die, but this is art class. It would be really lame if I just let you color those in and didn't challenge you in any way to be a little bit more creative. So here you have a bunch of blank circles. These can become a lot of things. For example, maybe you put a star inside each circle. Maybe you put a face inside each circle. Or you turn them all into flowers, or eyeballs, or planets, okay? You want to pick a design that's very simple, something you can repeat a lot of times, but I want you to change what these circles look like. So, for example, I can make each of these a face. Each one can have a different expression, where it's looking and what it's doing. I will be much more impressed if you come up with something more original than what I'm doing. You can do faces as well, but I want to see your own personal um, twist on them, if you know what I mean. What I'm basically telling you kids is don't just copy me, come up with some cool ideas of your own. I'm doing faces because it's very fast, and I want the video to not be 20 minutes long. So, take some time and transform these dots into something new. Once you're ready, I'm going to show you how to put it all together. So, I'm going to start by flipping over, and I'm going to put glue on all of the flaps. If you accidentally put some on the paper underneath it, it's really okay. Put one here, 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 boop. Just make sure the flaps are really covered. All right, and now we're gonna put the whole thing together. So we already folded it a little bit. So I want you to imagine, think of this like Minecraft. This is Steve. Here's Steve's head. Here are his arms. Here are his legs. Make Steve sit up and do a crunch, you know, like 1, 2, you know, like that. Take his little arms and attach them to the glue flaps. All the glue stuff goes on the inside. So I'm gonna put one glue flap over here. See, I can't see it from the outside. One glue flap over here. And then these guys fold up. You can kind of see the cube right away. But you just gotta work with it and make sure all the glue flaps go on the inside. Okay, see? Now I have a little die I can roll just by giving a little toss. So for instance, I did faces on these, but this one I turned them all into dogs. On this one I turned them all into hearts. So there's lots of different things you can do with these, but do not throw them out because I want to use them in the future, okay? So take good care of them, and I cannot wait to see what kind of cool ideas you come up with.